company here on The Circle. Well, every child needs someone in their life to encourage them and say, you can do it. But what's the difference between praising our kids and encouraging them, and does that difference matter? We're joined by parenting expert Michael Grose. Welcome back, Michael.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
I'm really fascinated by this because as parents we're all really eager to build our children up, but what is the fundamental difference between praising our kids and encouraging them, Michael?
Yeah, good point. The praise and encouragement are two different things. Praise tends to focus more on the results of what the kids do. It's very much ability related, so it's about your ability and about the person. And encouragement is more process oriented, so it looks at the kids' effort, improvement, contribution they make when they clean the room. Is it clean, or is it or is it the help? Can
we have some examples to help our viewers at home with that of a mother?
Kids come home from school, they've got a school report, and the praise is fantastic school report. You are so clever. Or you can focus on the notion of you tried really hard this year. Look, you've improved this month from last month.
Yeah.
So it's more focusing on it.
Has finally paid off.
It's paid off. So. Also, if you look at sport, for sometimes we'll actually put kids on a pedestal for their sporting ability, or you can focus more on the enjoyment. Great to see you enjoy the game. Now, I know we get a little bit, I don't want to get sort of too specific here and sort of splitting hairs, but there are some differences, and the evidence tells us that young kids actually like what we call ability praise. So, pat me on the head because I'm clever, because they can't really differentiate what they do from themselves. So you'll find that your kids will do things and they'll want to say, how am I doing, Mum? How am I doing, Dad? And they like that pat in the head. As they move into primary school and certainly into secondary school, they like what's known as effort praise, which is encouragement. So take the spotlight off the ability and put it more on their effort. And one of the issues around that is if you're always praising their ability and it's not so great, then they're sort of locked in there. So what you want to get across to kids, it's actually you can work hard, you can do things, you can improve yourself.
What about when they love something and they're not that good at it? What about, you know, I mean, we see these talent shows where people present and genuinely believe that they are very gifted singers and the rest of the world knows they ain't. But them and their mum are there. What do you do when your kid says, I want to be the best football player that Australia's ever seen, and you know they're not good enough at football? Okay,
I think kids can find them out themselves eventually. You don't have to be a dream crusher. Sometimes we can sort of be a dream crusher, but also don't build them up and say you are fantastic when they're not. And kids often know that, hang on, you know, this is hollow praise. You really don't mean that. But you can still, if they're really interested in it, and I like to actually, you know, enable kids to pursue their interests, and if they're interested in it, you know, let them do the lessons, let them pursue that, and eventually life will let them know that perhaps you're not the star that you used to. They learn some very valuable lessons about persistence and setting goals, etc.
I like that. Michael, do you see in this day and age that parents are in danger of overpraising their kids, and it's...
Yeah, sometimes we praise like it's a nervous tick. You know, fantastic, you're standing up straight, or you're breathing well. It would just go overboard and it becomes meaningless. And I've seen kids who you know, it becomes meaningless for them. So you need to be a little bit careful that we just don't go overboard. It also needs to be specific. It's you know, talk about what they've done. And I often like to describe their success. So kids have got to feel that they've been successful. So maybe they've done something really reasonably well. Give them a little bit of feedback about how they did that. That was terrific the way you actually, you know, worked hard at your reading and you've really picked up, etc. So sometimes you're explaining how they're successful.
Because you can often get sometimes, Michael, I remember dated a guy once and he wanted praise for everything he did. Like he'd sort of say to me, hey, did you like the shopping that I got at the supermarket? And I was like, it's fine, but just do it and don't need praise. Is that what...
Yeah, sometimes people become dependent on praise. What you want to do with the kids is not make them dependent on someone else for a self-evaluation. So it's not all about that. So sometimes when kids come to me and say, you know, how am I doing? You say, turn around and say, what do you think about it? You know, are you pleased with it yourself?
Can you do it for old guys as well? Is it all right? Do you think that, you know, well, you're doing it for the kids, do it for us.
Okay, so you want more praise?
Well, I just think people don't say it enough. I don't think people say, you know, hey, you did really well with it, because people, you know, it's so caught up in their own thing. We got to help each other along.
Yeah, we do.
And on that feel-good note, please thank Michael Grose.
Thank you.
Specifically wants a little...
Okay, before we go to the break...
What's he done well today?
Michael could maybe say, you know, if you had to give me some help, what would you say?
You've worked hard. You're working at your game. You're really picking up. You're actually contributing well to the group as well, with your smile, with your little thing. Hey, you're looking good now. Look, what's a bit more?
news update is coming up right after this message from the very encouraged Nikki.